Good morning from Wakimika Lake. It rained all night, stopped around 4 o'clock in the morning, and it's pretty bleak looking right now, but as of the last forecast I had, it's supposed to clear up today. I'm going to start making breakfast and then get packed up and get on my way. I've got about 2,000 or 3,000 meters of portages, depending on if I stay on Sylvester or go on to Hortense. Just making my breakfast this morning. I've got over easy egg. I'm going to cook it just a little bit extra. I don't want it to be hard in the middle, the yolk, but I don't want it to be super runny either because it'll be really messy. And putting that on a nice toasted English muffin. I know, surprise. It's almost the same thing as yesterday, but slightly different. Gotta mix it up a little bit at least. Alright, there's my egg sandwich. Just put a little salt on it and I'm good to go. Also gathered my stuff together for the day again out of the food bag. Got my sunscreen out this time. I should have left it out yesterday, but I forgot. Got a piece of kielbasa, a couple of breakfast sausages for my morning snack in lieu of a granola bar. I figure that'll give me some protein if they're already cooked. Got another salami wrap today. That's the last of the salami. And then just some snacks, 2 double stuffed Fudgios and a Twix bar and 2 Jolly Ranchers. Good morning. It is 7:36 on Saturday morning. I think it's August 3rd. Got my buff all kind of covering my head and my ears. It is sprayed with permethrin and bug spray. I don't have my hat, so this is going to have to do for the portages, and hopefully they're not too buggy because I don't have my face mask. Paddling on a very calm Wakimika Lake. 7:40 a.m. on Saturday. It's pretty gloomy out this morning, but it's not raining, and the clouds are moving. And up here, there's a nice break in the clouds and some beautiful blue skies. So I'm hoping that it does clear up as it was supposed to. And I'm not too far from the portage. I only had a couple of kilometers to paddle. I was just trying to find the portage into Brooks, and I just located it. Yay! It's a pretty steep hill to start out with here. And the bugs are buzzing around me already, so I'm actually really nervous about doing this without my bug net on my head and my hat. But I don't have a choice. Thought I was almost done, so I took a look at my GPS, and I'm not even halfway. I guess uphills will take a lot longer than downhills. Bugs aren't too bad, at least with my headliner on my head. Here's what I'm assuming Alex was talking about. The axe mark blazes on the tree. And it's pretty cool. Never knew to look for those before. Apparently on the white pine, they grow faster, so they might be up higher. So I'm going to keep my eyes out for that while I'm on the portages. Give me something to do. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Brooks Lake. I was super quiet when I came up. I was hoping I'd see a moose out here, but no luck, unfortunately. It took me 20 minutes to do that portage with the pack, so I know that there was a lot of uphill, and I'm kind of don't want to go back to get the canoe, but I know I have to. Well, because this is the heaviest of the portage days of all the days in my trip, chose to wear my pants today, and there's a few reasons for that. One is it helps keep the bugs off my legs. It helps keeps all kinds of things off my legs. As you can see, my pants are soaking wet by my knees and my thighs, and that's because you know, the portages here are pretty bushy and covered, and all of these bushes and ferns and plants all kind of smash into your legs as you're walking through here. And they're wet right now because it rained. So now I've got wet stuff. I probably have leaves stuck to my legs and all kinds of spiders and bugs and I don't know. Maybe a tick, who knows. I've never actually encountered one of those little beasts, but I really don't want to. See, there's another one. Double axe marks. More. Only took me 15 minutes to get back. It's definitely the hills that are adding that 5 minutes of time. Could even say 7 if I was being super honest. So this is what's been happening, I guess, while I've been walking around in the forest. Ugh. Sun's kind of out, but it's still really cloudy. It looks like it's raining over there. There's some ducks over here with some babies. I don't know if you can see them. Hello, ducky. Beautiful Brooks Lake. Just a small lake. Well, thankfully the bugs weren't too bad on that portage, and my headliner seems to be doing a good job of keeping them out of my ears and my hair. There, I have arrived at the 170 meter portage from Brooks into Indy. The canoe and I have made it to Indy. It was an extremely long 170 meter portage, and as I arrive on this lake, it is just starting to lightly rain. I gotta go get my pack. Unfortunately, I didn't tape it, but right at the start of the portage, there's this tree that's down. I had quite a bit of fun getting over it. I got to here and I was fine, but there was another tree there sticking up here. And so I came over here to try to get over it, which I'm doing now with my pack. Ouch! Yeah. And one of those little buggers caught my shoe, and I almost went face first into the dirt. So that was exciting. There's always something going on in Temagami. By the time I return with my pack, the rain has stopped. It's about 9:40, and I am now on Indy. So 2 hours, just under 2 hours after I left my camp. And I believe the portage is over in that corner there. Taking out some my lunch and snacks and stuff so I can eat something. I definitely feel like I'm running out of energy, and I have a 1K next, so off I go. I'm just having my granola bar. I can't eat granola, I can't eat nuts, I can't eat seeds. So I've got 2 breakfast sausages that I pre-cooked before I left, and I'm gonna munch on these. Some good protein anyways. I have a stick of kielbasa too and some cookies. We'll see what else I eat, but definitely having the sausages. I've got a definite rumbling in my tummy. I think I ate at 6:15 this morning, so 3.5 hours almost. So. Well, I've reached the start of the 1,045 meter portage into Sylvester, and I know what this stuff is. It looks like that lovely stuff that I got to play in 4 weeks ago on Canada Day weekend on the portage from McConnell into Laura. It's that stuff that you just sink in, so I gotta be really careful here. Ah yes, the mud jello. I remember it well. Okay, let's go. I just finished eating my Twix bar sitting here. Got myself wedged up onto the muck. I opened up my paddles and pushed myself up in, so there's a log here. Someone put some logs, so hopefully it's not too sucky mucky. I've already got it up here. I might as well start walking. Off we go. Good times. Just wanted to say a big thank you to the Friends of Temagami. I know that you guys were here not that long ago and built this awesome bridge, and I'm so happy it's here to get across. There's a lot of sucky muck here on this portage, and not having to deal with that was awesome. So thanks for all you do, and taking care of this beautiful place for us so that we can enjoy it. I really do appreciate it. Well, I just arrived on Sylvester. That was a really hard portage. It took me a long time. There's a lot of mucky spots. There were a lot of rocks to walk over. It reminded me a bit of the portage from Bob into Spirit Rock. Anyways, when I got here, I saw something I did not expect to see, which was 2 canoes on the other portage going into Hortense. So I walked to the campsite here. It's not bad, it's not amazing. I'm just kind of waiting to see what these people do. Well, I decided to take the campsite on Sylvester for now. Not really sure what these people are doing. It's not big enough for 3 boats. There's actually 3 canoes. That campsite is not big enough for 3 canoes and 3 tents. It's pretty small. It's just up on a hill in the forest with a fire pit there and rock. So there's no place to sit really. There's some firewood, so I could probably make a little something to sit on. And I can definitely make do with it. So I brought the canoe over and left it there. I'm going back to get the pack. I am pretty tuckered. This is a crazy portage for sure. And I'm so happy. I know that the friends of Temagami just came through here and did a maintenance trip. And they put that bridge in. Anyway, I gotta catch my breath. I'll come back in a minute. Alright, it is 11:45 and I am on Sylvester, and I finally saw the people accompanying the canoes. It was a camp, and it was basically a bunch of kids, 3 canoes. I don't know how many boys there were. Quite a few, very polite, and they were carrying Wannigan's Camp Wobbin, I believe, out of Temagami. So they told me that no one was on the site on Hortense. So I'm heading there. The site on Sylvester is there. See that little opening? There's no place to swim. It's just a big rock. There is a privy, but I also know that there's a privy on Hortense. I'm going to go for one more. It'll make it a nice easy day tomorrow too. Not a nice easy day, but an easier day tomorrow. And I'm going to hope that the site on Hortense is much, much nicer. Fingers crossed. I heard some screeching like an eagle, and now I see one. I think it's a baby eagle. It's super tiny. Learning how to fly, maybe. Well, it only took me a few minutes to paddle over to the portage into Hortense, and partly regretting the decision. And partly not, because, you know, I don't want to. It's 12 o'clock, right? Like, I have all day. I don't want to spend all day on a shitty site. I mean, not that the site on Sylvester is shitty. Each site is unique in its own way. It's only noon. Let's do one more. I'll get there. I mean, if I go really slow and it's really hard, at the latest 1:30, like, it's an 850 meter portage, I think. But, you know, it could very easily take me an hour to do the double carry, maybe longer, and I'm okay with it. I'm going to go for it. This might have been a mistake. Oh my gosh. I've been walking uphill since I started, and it just keeps going up, and I'm dying. Oh, this better be a really nice campsite. Oh my gosh. So happy. It just started leveling out. Oh, look at that. Oh no, I'm dying. Oh. Oh, my face is so red. Whew. It's so hot. And the sun is out now, finally, which is great. I've got mixed feelings right now about this portage. I'm happy that I'm getting it over with, for sure. You know, tomorrow will be a lot better because of it. But at the same time, I'm like, I barely have the energy to finish it. I don't know, but that hills. I brought the canoe about halfway. It's not quite halfway. I carried it for 12 minutes, and you know, 850 meter portage. 12 minutes should be at least 3/4 of the way. You know, it should be like 15 minutes or so. Maybe a little bit. I can do a kilometer in 20 minutes, so 15 minutes. I should have been almost at the end at 12, but I'm only halfway. I'm pooped. I really hope this is a nice sight on Hortense. Fingers crossed. Okay, I don't want to fall, so I'm going to turn this off. There's my bag. Oh, this is my second time up that hill now, and honestly, I didn't like it any better than the first time. Oh man. Well, when I said even if it takes me an hour and a half to do the portage, who cares? I care. It took an hour and a half. I mean, I'm not done. I piggybacked. I brought the canoe almost halfway, or what I thought was halfway. And then I went and got the pack, and I just brought the pack all the way through. It took me a half an hour to bring the pack from one end to the other on an 850 meter portage. I can do a kilometer in 20 minutes. I honestly don't want to go get the canoe. I just want to swim over to this side. At least the site looks nice. It's over here. I don't know if you can see it. Right across there. And nobody's on it. And it looks like a beautiful lake. There's 2 loons I can see here. There's a nice little river or creek or something, maybe, or a good spot to fish at the other end there where the portage is going into Dorothy. And I don't know what's over there because I can't see. So, oh man, this portage is not a nice person. Just so much uphill, so much downhill. Oy. Look at this tree. Must have got struck by lightning. It's all burnt at the bottom. It's like got charring inside of it. That's wicked. I thought this moment was never gonna come today. Holy crap. I'm still going down this super steep hill, but I made it. I'm so happy. I'm exhausted. Woo. But I'm happy. Well, it's 1:45, but I'm so happy that I decided to come here. This is such a pretty lake. It is so much nicer than the site on Sylvester. Well, I haven't seen the site technically, but the lake is nicer, so the site has got to be better too. There's the campsite. It's on a hill, a couple of hills. Word of the day is hill. Just figuring out how to get in and get up there. Well, there was no place to sit, and I don't have a chair, so I found these really nice pieces of wood, and I stacked them on top of some little logs. And it's not super high off the ground, but it's got the rocks wedged in there so they don't roll down the hill, and it's fairly comfortable. Alright, well, it's about 2:45. I've been like just poking around super slow. I got my tent set up on the flattest spot I could possibly find, which is pretty hard on this site. It's very lumpy. This whole section here is all blueberries, and there's some that are ripe, and it really sucks because I can't eat them. I'm going to put on my bathing suit, and I'm going to get in the water. I'm so hot. And then I'm going to put my hammock right there in between those 2 trees right there. It's a perfect spot. And then I'm going to get my fishing rod out. I'm either going to lay in the hammock for a bit and then go fishing, or go fishing and lay in the hammock later. I'm not sure. I'll see how I feel. That has got to be the most perfect place for a hammock ever. Oh, it's cold. Oh, it's so refreshing. Oh, I did it, yeah. Oh, it's chilly. Touch the bottom. No, that's why I jumped there. I couldn't see it. Oh, this is lovely. 4 o'clock and I am out fishing. Okay, well I haven't fished yet, but got my fishing rod. Got this cool new lure. I got 3 of them actually from my friend through work. And here's what one of them looks like. I said to go in the shallow spots and the weeds, and I don't know, I'm supposed to like do like a jigger type of thing. I'm out here fishing and I found this really pretty little creek. Huge rocks there. So nice. I don't know. I've been out here for about 2 hours. I've tried like 6 different types of lures. I've tried sunny spots, shady spots, spots by rocks, spots by weeds, shallow spots, deep spots. I got 2 fish like kind of jump at this one lure that my friend Ken gave me. And that happened twice in 2 different spots, and that's it. That's all I've gotten since I've been out here. So, oh well. That shushing you hear is my stove heating up, boiling actually, almost. 1 cup of hot water. I'm making my dinner for today. It's 6 o'clock. I am starving. I had a very long day. I did 2,700 meters of portages, and I think it came up to like 8,000 meters in walking. So like 8 kilometers. And they were really hard portages, most of them. So I'm starving. Today I am having one of my OTG meals. This one is mini ravioli with tomato sauce. I've been really looking forward to this one. The ravioli does have a little bit of cheese in it, but I think I will be okay with it. And basically all I need to do is open this up, take out the oxygen pack, add 1 cup of boiling water, stir, seal, and let it sit for 12 to 15 minutes. And today is a let it sit kind of day. Alright, water's boiling there. The Mighty Mo, rides again. I don't even think it's been 3 minutes. It's so fast. And here is the ravioli. Mini ravioli with sauce. So I'm going to add the water into there, stir it, seal it up, and wait 15 minutes very impatiently while rehydrates. Alright, so the little baby's raviolis are done. And there's some meat sauce. I think I put a tiny bit too much water in, but oh well, there's nothing I can do about it now. I guess I'll have some tomato soup after. Hopefully it doesn't bother me too badly. It looks delicious. I'm going to give it a try and I will let you know how it is. Alright, I got my mini ravioli. It's probably going to be really, really hot because it's been sealed shut for 15 minutes, but I'm going to find a nice one. I got a double actually. These little raviolis. Oops, lost it. Try to get the same one. Little raviolis. It's over my mouth. Really good. Well, this is my second OTG meal and the second one that I have loved. So, good job, Randy. Thank you so much. Alright, I'm going to go enjoy this. And we'll see you later. Bye. Well, my hair's so big. I've been lying in the hammock and I was editing some pictures and then I started kind of getting dozy, so I closed my eyes for a bit and I started getting really cold. I have my long sleeve, a tank on, and my sleeping tights, and I was still freezing. I put the hammock like over both, like I put both sides of the hammock over me, kind of like a blanket, but it didn't really help. So I started a little bit of a fire. Just have a little bit of wood here. Well, there's quite a bit of wood actually. There was all kinds of wood lying around everywhere, all over the campsite. It was really strange. But I have some wood, and I'm just gonna have a little fire for like an hour or so. I'm just waiting for the sunset to finish, and then I'm going to bed. I'm so tired today. The sun is gone, not too much going on with the sky. I'm gonna take my hammock down in a minute because I'll be leaving in the morning, so there's no point in leaving it up. And just gonna sit here for a little bit and then get ready to go to bed. I'm really happy with the little seat I made too. It's quite comfortable. I mean, it was nothing major, but it did the trick. Well, it's about 9:45 on Saturday, August 3rd, and I am on Hortense. It is a beautiful sight. It is a beautiful lake. I am so happy that I pushed hard to come here and not stay on Sylvester. You know, for this time of year, for what I want to do on my campsite, Hortense is like a 10 or 11 if I could even get that out of 10, and Sylvester is like a 3, maybe a 2. Yeah, there was no place to swim, there was no place to hang my hammock, there was nowhere to sit, nothing to sit on except for rock. I'm too tired for that. So I'm really glad that I pushed to come here, even though that's probably, that portage might be in my list of top 3 or top 5 of my least favorite portages ever. Yeah, tomorrow I've got a much easier day considering what I did today. I've got a 250 meter portage into Dorothy, and then I go down a little creek, and I think there's a small like 85 meter, and then I go down the Nasmith, and it's going to be like windy, so even though it's just a little tiny thing on the map, it'll probably take like forever, which is fine. I like creeks. And then I have like, I can't remember, 100 meters, and then there's like 400 meters where the portage is by waterfalls, but Tierney said that it was like 200 and 200, like not, there's like a break in between, so I'm not sure. But that's it for tomorrow, and see what happens. Anyways, that's about it. I'm gonna go to bed, so good night. See you tomorrow.